going to talk.
Let's see, the bad thing is you weren't here last week.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. So now I'm really like, okay.
So
I'll
no,
just
here,
go along with how you're gonna.
so here's what we did last week. I know you couldn't make it because it's super busy and still is. What we talked about last week with this is the problem of suspensions of students of color. So what is the problem of practice you think that contributes to this problem at Lathrop High? The issues we came up with Irene and Bernadette were race, ignorance, staff development, classroom management, assumptions that students of color act a certain way, too long in the profession for some teachers, relationships, whether they have a bad one or they don't try to build a relationship with the students. We don't value them, or the students are always in defense mode because they come to class, they already know they're in trouble. They already know that something's gonna be done the wrong way with them. They're always on the defense because they don't know where they stand with the teacher maybe. Okay, so those are the things we covered there. Then the other part was, how does this issue correspond to our school vision? And I gave everybody the school vision, what it said and everything about inclusion of everybody. And then we came up with two things. We said, does not encompass all students, because if we're suspending certain groups of children at a higher rate, then we're not encompassing it, we're not bringing everybody in. We're missing the boat on with some of our students. And then the other thing that Irene brought up was meeting all their needs, which was Maslow's hierarchy. If we're not helping meet their needs, if we're not building those relationships with them, then they're not going to want to come to school, or when they do come to school, they're just not going to be engaged. They're going to sit back, dissociate, not want to get involved in anything that we do. So then these are some of the questions that were given back to me partially from the Madera County Office of Ed, and some of what we came up with that we need to address. So what strategies should we incorporate to address this problem of practice at Lathrop High? What kind of things do you think strategies we could use?
I think part of it is just giving teachers the strategies to build those relationships, because I feel like a lot of disciplinary issues can be solved with those relationships, because once you have those relationships with your students, behavior issues seem
It's
to...
a little easier because they know where you stand.
Right.
So it's going to go back into the stuff we talked about here. So it's going to be staff development and the relationships.
Yes, I definitely think the staff development part, and just giving them the strategies to be able to help and create those, because some students or some staff will be able to build better connections, and we have a lot of fairly new staff, and we have some older staff too, but I think that
and
they need those strategies. They just don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, and then also give the students the strategies so they know how to cope with when things aren't going right. Like if they come in and they're in a bad mood, having a bad day, come up, talk to the teacher, say, hey, you know what? This happened at home. I don't know if I'm going to be able to focus and get stuff done. So if I'm not answering questions, this is why.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm not going to be able to be 100%.
I can't function because I'm not here. Okay. So staff development and relationships, those are the big things we talked about last week too, especially the relationship part, because Irene has Link Crew, you have all the leadership, Bernadette has all the groups she works on, and I coach. So you have to build some kind of relationship, and it's not just with a certain group of kids. Like Bernadette has
her English or her ELD.
Well, she has ELD with the other group she has, where she goes out and does the
Interact.
Interact, thank you. So, and that's not just a certain race of students; it's everybody, and that's why I said that's why I chose this group of people, because 51% are African, or 51% are Hispanic. So Irene's here. Then 9%, I believe, are African American. So that's Ogbedi. Then you have everybody, and you deal with a wide range of kids. So that covers, and I coach, so that covers another bit. I said the only thing that I wish I could have done was find somebody who was Indian. Because then I would have covered almost every. I would have had Asian Pacific. All those would have been
all the different groups.
So that's the only group that I really don't have that's covered specifically by a teacher who's of that ethnicity. So that's one area where I fell short, but I got the majority of it.
I mean, and it's hard.
Got 80-something%.
Right. We don't have a huge population of staff that fall into that category. So
correct.
Finding somebody that has the time to be able to.
Yeah, the one that I could have asked teaches college and everything else, so she's not available a lot either. So it makes it difficult.
Yes.
Okay, so is there anything else on that you think we should add to the strategies? Because staff development is probably going to help them get the biggest strategies, and then I don't think it matters what age the teacher is.
No, I think that
because-
I don't think the age matters. You're going to have some young teachers that have issues, and you're going to have some teachers that have been in education a long time. They're going to have issues.
Correct.
So it's,
Yeah, I think it goes both ways.
absolutely.
Okay, this one might be a little more difficult to answer. I've gotten some information from Pignol, but I don't have root causes. It's very difficult to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we believe to be the root causes of some of these?
I mean, going back to what you had mentioned early, like the Maslow's, the hierarchy, like a lot of those students I feel like that have maybe discipline issues, their needs are not being met.
Okay.
So they don't realize they're not being met though. I mean, it's like a little kid when they're hungry and they're like grouchy and like, you know, they don't know that that's why they're that way. And I think high school kids are no different. If their needs aren't met, some don't even realize that they.
Here. Let me turn on the air.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100% because the problem that I have a lot of times, kids in first period, they come in and Mr. King, you have this? Sorry, I don't have any food right now. I haven't stocked up like I have in the past.
Yeah.
So if they're hungry, then they're checked out because their stomach, they're worried about if they're going to eat. Some kids go, I haven't eaten in 2 days. I'm like, Jesus. So I go to Nikki, try to get food from her to help out or send them up there and say, hey, go see her, she has food.
Yeah.
If they have free.
Yeah, kids all the time. I mean, and because of, you know, we're doing snacks for sports teams or stuff. So I'll have like stashes of stuff in the back. I'm like, well, this is what I got right now. Like, eat this, you know, or if kids don't sleep well, then they're, you know, some of them, they're in those like AP classes. They're up crazy hours studying. I'm like, you're not doing yourself any good to stay up all night studying because then you're so exhausted when it comes. And that's not the kids we're talking about in this scenario.
No,
but we're still talking about sleep deprivation in general.
Correct.
And high school kids are...
These kids aren't getting sleep, but for a different reason.
Exactly, for a different reason. They're staying up all night playing video games, or they're
worried about their families fighting. Their mom and dad aren't home. They're worried about that. Yeah, they're all
taking care of siblings, you know?
Yes, all that.
All those things.
Exactly. Okay, so the needs is probably going to be a big issue, especially with these kids who get suspended because they're already on the wrong track because they don't have any food, they're not being nourished, they don't probably have a good home life.
And there may be, you know, like a perpetual thing, and so then because their needs aren't being met over years, then they are not at grade level or where they need to be. And so they may be lacking. And so if you don't understand what's being taught in your classes and you're hungry and you're tired and you're all of those other things,
this isn't functioning.
Yeah, your brain can't even grasp the concepts, and I think it all kind of goes back.
Yeah, because the other part is home life, wasn't it? But we can't measure that. I would not get honest answers if I, especially from the students, but if I send something home, I'm not going to get an honest answer from them.
No,
I don't want to divulge that information about certain things. But there are certain things I could find out, like, do you have both parents at home? I could ask that question and get a good answer. Is it just your family that lives there? Because I know that there's a couple families that have grandmas, aunts, uncles, cousins, other people living there. So I know they're not getting sleep because they're sleeping in a kitchen on the table that was a kitchen table. Now it's a makeshift bed. So we could have those things. But I need to come up with something for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this is a two-parter on this one. It says, is it school culture or do the students feel welcomed at school? So do you think the school culture is going to have something to do with it?
I think and where those students feel they fit in, whether it's, you know, like it's their perception of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some students come to school and they feel like they need to belong to a certain group, but they're like pigeonholing themselves more so than maybe somebody else putting them in a certain group, which, you know, oh, these have always been my friends and these have always been who I've been associated with. Whereas
if you're hanging with the small kids, you come to high school, it's looked at a little bit differently.
It is.
Yes.
By your peers and by your teachers, because there's kids all the time that you associate, you know, one bad seed, and then everybody that's around that kid, you know, whether, I mean, I don't want to say you make the assumption, but
well, we do.
You know.
No, we do.
Until you're proved wrong, or until you have a one-on-one experience with a kid, you know, there's kids all the time, I mean, that I think are like, oh, he's a great kid, and then you have a different experience. I mean, I was sat in a meeting and somebody was like that, and I was like, that kid was part of that? I was like, I was just with him last week at a rally practice, and he was amazing. And they're like, yeah, he's surrounded by a different group of kids. Because in a rally
So
practice,
bring himself up to
he
that.
brought himself, at rally practice, he was amazing. But then when he was at lunchtime, he got into a whole different scenario because it was who he was around.
He's acting like whichever crowd he's with.
Mhm,
So he's
mhm.
bringing himself up, but then his other groups are bringing him right back down to where.
It was an interesting thing for me because I thought he had matured and was doing better, but it was just in the setting that I was seeing him.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no, I understand that
yeah,
completely. I understand that one. Okay, then do the students feel welcome to school? I mean, looking at our school, especially the last 2 years, I
mhm,
think the students feel very welcome and engaged with things, the ones who want to.
right.
We're always gonna have certain ones that don't want to.
And I feel like we have a fairly diverse campus on a lot of different issues. I mean, ethnicity, yes, but then there's other things, gender identity and like different things that were pretty diverse.
Correct.
In the, I mean, homeless and foster and all those things. We have a wide variety.
There's a lot, I agree.
And most of them can balance across, and there isn't, you have students that are in special ed that sometimes those kids are kind of shunned, and I don't feel like they are here on our campus.
I haven't seen it myself in the 4 years I've been here.
Right, and so I think that I feel like most people, I mean, me being an activities director, I think that's part of my job. And you know what I'm saying, is to get all of those other kids, and so I see it's okay. It can always get better though.
Well, yeah, you're never gonna reach that perfection because the new group comes in every 4 years.
Right.
There's new kids coming in every
Uh-huh.
year anyway.
Yeah,
so
I mean, we're
it
getting
can
new
change
kids
the dynamic.
today, you know what I'm saying? So one new kid, I mean, we got a new kid a couple weeks ago, and it changed a whole dynamic of a whole group of kids.
Yeah.
Because this kid was not necessarily the best role model for these other kids that were coming in. And so then that group went like a little bit, and you got to get him
They
back.
gotta either self-correct or get a little bit of
Mhm.
help on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this school, I honestly think that the students feel welcomed to the part where their needs are being met and
Mhm,
everything else.
mhm.
Because if they're
Yeah.
not getting fed, they may not feel welcome because, the teacher's not feeding me.
Absolutely.
Not that it's our job to feed
Mhm.
them, but we need to do what we can to help them
Yeah.
get what they
I mean,
need.
to make up where you can.
So I was gonna put 5-star on there because I think that's
Oh.
a part that helps with the welcoming
Yeah.
because it gets kids involved.
Right. I mean, yeah, we have a pretty good, I mean, already, I think we're at like 60% of kids.
That's fantastic.
We're fairly early in the school year, and I haven't put any athletes in there. That doesn't include any athletes.
Okay,
So that's just kids doing clubs and going to attending events.
that's a lot then.
Mm-hmm.
You get a big chunk then coming
Yeah.
in. Okay, and I'll add some more stuff based on what we talked about too.
Yeah.
When I do the notes. The next one says, do the students understand the discipline system and expectations? What do you think?
I think that varies based on the teachers.
Okay.
And I want to say I feel that our admin staff is all on the same page. I don't know how they deal with and how they come across to students is the same though. So like when you're talking to adults, all the adults say the same thing and like everybody has the same rules.
Yes.
But I don't know that they come across, like if you're sitting on one side of the desk and a kid's sitting on the other, how it's given to the kids is the same.
I understand what
Do
you're
you see what I'm saying? Like one of our administrators I feel like is very like hard nosed and
Yes, he
like
is.
to the point, whereas the other one's a little more like it's
Loosey goosey would be the
Yes,
word.
yes,
that
yes,
we
yes.
use.
and I think that in that system we may,
That's where the kids go, well, Mr. So-and-so said this, but then Mr. So-and-so told me this.
yes.
They mean the same thing, it's just their approach is different.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So one comes down like you're incompetent, and the other
Yeah.
one comes down like, hey, I'm gonna work with you type.
Yes.
Now, I understand what you're saying, and it's difficult for some kids to process. and
Right,
understand.
because they think that it should be the same, and in the end, I think it is this. I mean, but how the kids perceive it is not the same.
Yeah, depending on how it's given to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a hard part because I think that the expectations are certain things, like even with the phones.
Mm-hmm.
My kids put their phones up in that pocket chart.
Oh,
The other teachers don't do it.
right,
Most teachers don't do it.
right.
And then they wonder why kids do certain things. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, Okay, and that's inconsistency with us, because some kids are gonna put it in their pocket and you're never gonna know. Because I don't sit there and frisk them
Right,
to check. I say, look, if it goes off and I hear it, it's
Yeah.
going to the office, you know that.
right,
If it's up there, you guys have to have it off on, silent.
mhm,
That way I don't have to worry about it.
yeah,
And for the most part, they understand.
right,
And I
right,
haven't really had too many problems with
mhm,
them.
yeah,
So it works out for me.
right, because it's consistent and kids, that's what they want.
Keeps
I
the
mean,
bathroom time down.
absolutely, yeah, I started this year, I have like the clear pencil box,
Uh-huh.
so when they go to the restroom, and I teach leadership, they still have to put their phone inside the pencil box. Like, I don't look at it, I don't touch it on anything. The pass is in the pencil box, so you put your phone in there, you take the pass, and you go. And then they come back, they put the pass back and grab your phone.
And it's the trust thing, just
Mm-hmm.
you're showing them that, hey, I'm respecting you as a young adult,
Uh-huh, like,
and you have to follow the rules.
yeah, you can go, but you shouldn't need to be on your phone while you're going to the bathroom either.
Exactly, 'cause that takes a lot longer. And plus, Mr. Davis will take your phone away anyway.
Right, right.
Some girl was doing it the other day, walking down the hall, and he's sitting there talking to her, she's just so engrossed in her phone, and then he goes, hey, you want me to take that phone? She goes, huh, what? He goes, you're not supposed to be on your phone when you come out of class, right? She goes, oh, no, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So she probably knew, but she just got
Yeah,
pissed.
played it off that, yeah.
So, and that's the thing too, is the expectations. Different teachers are still gonna be different.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna get every teacher to do
No, you're not
exactly
gonna
the
get every
same
teacher to buy into everything or micromanage what they need to do.
thing. And I'm not gonna go through and double check every kid. Sometimes they don't put them up there. Sometimes they don't have it. I'm not gonna sit there and waste 5 minutes and say, yeah, you got your phone. I know you have a phone, put it up there.
Yeah, if it becomes an issue, then we'll deal with the issue.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so it varies based on teachers, and administrators.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the last one, I guess, is behavior related to academics. And I think you mentioned it earlier when you talked about kids not having their other needs met, and they come in and they're already behind. So it is gonna be based on academics, because they're in 10th grade, but they're at a 3rd grade reading level.
Mm-hmm.
Their comprehension's so low that they can't grasp anything that you're giving them at the higher level.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think those are the kids, I mean, you see it all the time. The kids that are not where they need to be academically are then gonna be the ones that lash out, or they're, attention seeking or whatever it is, because they can't do what they need to academically, so they gotta get attention some other way.
Yeah, because I have a kid in my 4th grade class who's at a 1st grade reading level, and he's a junior. And we can't get through anything because he wants to sit and talk and do this, and I have to write him up and send him to the office. I take him outside and talk to him and say, look, when you keep doing that, it just disrupts the whole class. Other
Yeah.
people want to learn. You just need to sit there and listen, and then when I can help you, I will help you.
Uh-huh.
He just doesn't get it.
Oh, that's so hard.
He doesn't get it. It's very difficult and frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, anything else that you think, there's one more thing I want to bring up about here that I think we can do.
Uh-huh.
Something I was thinking about, but also when the teacher that responded back to me gave me an idea, and I want to run it by you.
Yeah.
But is there anything else on here you think?
No, I think I think we've got.
Okay, because my personal opinions about staff development is our in-service days, instead of having how to cook French toast and all that stuff that we do, we need to have stuff that's more pertinent to what we do as educators instead.
No, yeah.
But that's me. I know some people want the yoga and the other stuff, and I know there's a purpose for that, but
Right.
I talked to Bill already. I go, you need to have time when we do these things to show us the forms you want us to fill out the right way, how you want them done, so we know, because you always send them back. And why is that? Because we don't know how to do it. We don't know what you're looking for. We don't know the expectation.
Yep.
So I said, we need stuff like that.
Yeah.
The forms you need us to fill out, the paperwork that we have to do on campus for anything, you need to show us how to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's what I think we should do on our in-service, but.
Are you talking like our?
When everybody comes here.
Oh, like the November one.
The big one, and then the in-service stuff we do too, at the beginning
Like
of the year,
yep,
instead of going to the church and having some speaker come in and give them 10 grand to talk to us for 4 hours.
Right.
Let's use
Well, and this year, I mean, when we had the one day, but then math teachers got pulled, sped teachers got pulled, counselors got pulled, and you're like, we don't have time to go over anything.
Correct.
As an entire staff. So if we're gonna have one day, give us our whole day.
Give us this school. Each school goes and does their own thing.
Yes, and give us our whole day with all of our staff, because then it'll make us better as a group.
Because even SPED, when we got over there,
Mm-hmm.
we were 45 minutes late, so we missed a big chunk of our training.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, why didn't
Yeah,
you
I mean,
do
and
this?
some schools or districts go back, a week early.
Yeah.
Instead of, not that none of us want to,
No,
but
for sure.
but if it's going to be useful and it's going to be, instead of all the other stuff, if it's useful, then
Well,
I don't want.
And like we talked about, not every teacher's going to find that useful.
Right.
Like I say, I already know how to do it. Some people will know how to do that,
Yep.
but for those of us who don't, or those of
Mhm.
us who need a refresher because we haven't
Right,
done
because you're doing the same thing, and it's always good to be like, oh, I never thought about doing it that way, or oh wow, that's different way, see how everybody else does it.
that. Or maybe instead of Bill trying to do it all himself, he pairs up the teachers who know how to do it, say, hey, you take this group of 10, you
Mhm.
take this group of,
Yep.
and then he leads a group, and then bam, everybody's learning
got
from their peers.
And I really like the way we do it, like the rotation model we've used the last
Yes.
couple of years, because I think it's good. And then you get, your smaller groups, everybody gets to talk, and you cover a lot more, and people are up and moving. And I think you got to keep them up and moving.
Because 65 aren't going to talk.
No,
They just want
heck
to get
no.
out of there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it makes it hard. So the last thing I wanted to bring up is doing a student / staff survey,
Mm-hmm.
and then ask certain, I don't have all the questions figured out, but do you know what the discipline policy is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel this administered fairly?
Mm-hmm.
And then have them answer.
Right.
Well, actually, not do it that way, because they'll put yes. I want to leave it
Mm-hmm.
open-ended, so they have to answer it more than just give
Right.
me a yes or no. But do something like that where the students get one, the staff gets one, and we give it to everybody.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we can do that on 5-star, and we can do it. I was just talking with Judy, the WASC coordinator,
Okay.
about doing something, and hers is more WASC related.
Yes.
And so I don't know what the questions are, but that she wants to cover. But I think that the more of those things you do, and some kids will blow it off and will give you crazy
Exactly.
answers, but the ones that want to be heard, it'll give them a platform to be heard. And so then any kids that have, screaming, and they're like, I don't know who to talk about this, I don't know, or we may see things that, sometimes you get back results
We'll get
that are
some
hard to
information.
swallow. But it makes us all better.
Well, that's the whole purpose, is try to make this process better.
Mhm.
Because do we want to suspend kids? No, because it makes our life hell.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want them in class? Yes, because they're going to learn more.
Yeah,
It's going to make it a
absolutely.
lot easier for us to get stuff done.
Hey,
What's up?
we're meeting in Stephanie's room tomorrow.
No, isn't it the other groups?
The PLC groups.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, see you later. So yeah, we might get some hard facts that are some hard news that makes us look at it and go, oh crap. Because
Uh-huh.
the kids might call us out by name
Right.
too, so.
And nobody likes to be called out, but I think you have to leave it a little bit open-ended, but and whoever gets all the results has to kind of filter them, because it'll be pretty easy to see
Yeah.
what is, and then if there's glaring issues about certain individuals, then that becomes like a one-on-one conversation with that individual, not,
Correct. Yeah, not the whole.
not send it out to
Everybody
staff.
doesn't need to know who.
Right, absolutely, just that it's an issue.
Yes.
Just black out the names.
Here's what the students think.
Mhm.
Here, they have issues, and here's some of the issues they have. We don't need to say it's with one teacher. one
Right.
department, Just
Absolutely.
so they have an idea.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
so that's the only other thing I was thinking about doing.
Mhm.
because
No, I think that'd be a great idea.
I'm not gonna be able to get it done before I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna
Right,
happen.
but it's something, in reality, it's something that we should be doing, and so even if it came about as an idea from this, it's the whole point of
Yeah.
make us all better.
And 5-star would work, because that would at least, that's easy to get out to everybody, because
Mhm.
we have everybody already in there.
Everybody's email's already in there,
Okay,
anybody who has the app can do it on the app.
Yep.
So,
and then we could actually see about doing one for parents. I could do a Survey Monkey
yeah, Survey
type
Monkey,
thing,
super
and see
easy.
about sending that out to all the parents
Because
too.
we have all their contacts
Have
and
to
that.
get Greg's approval first, obviously.
Yeah.
It's something that could be done, because I know they do other ones that they send out
Mhm.
from the front office for
Yeah.
RELAC and all the other
Yeah.
stuff they have.
Super easy to pull that info
Okay.
now.
All right, anything else you can think of?
No, I think it's good info.
Okay. All right, that'll be it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Al.
Yep, thank you.
No problem, we'll see you later.
Yes, definitely. Gonna go to the volleyball game here shortly, so.
Oh, they're home today, huh?
Yes, they are. I haven't been to one yet, so I was like, I have a meeting at the DO.